Welcome to Beyond Broken Hungry. Juggling your career, relationships, nutrition, fitness, finance, try to pursue your dreams, and stay sane can be a bit of a struggle. With the help of expertise from a variety of wellness experts and tips and tricks from everyday people, this podcast is here to share it all to make this journey we call life just a little more balanced. I'm stumbling towards wellness right alongside you, and I'm so happy to have you come along this journey. With that in mind, let's jump into this week's episode of Beyond Broken Hungry. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Beyond Broken Hungry. I'm your host, Dara Sweat, and I'm recording this episode a little bit earlier than I normally do. Right now, currently, as I'm recording, it is the Tuesday before Thanksgiving, and typically, what I've been doing since I relaunched, getting in the mindset of having this podcast for you on a weekly basis is I've been recording on Thursdays, editing on Friday, getting everything scheduled, and then it comes out on Mondays, but obviously Thursday this week is Thanksgiving. And much like most of us, I would like to spend the day with my family, not working, not having to edit anything. Although I don't really consider the podcast work. It's, I still have to put work into it in order for it to get edited and published and whatnot. I don't have a team. I am my team. So it is the Tuesday before Thanksgiving, but by the time this comes out, it will be after Thanksgiving. So I hope that you had a great Thanksgiving. I hope that the family drama was minimal. This year, my grandpa's getting old. He's getting up there. And he just had like a major kidney stone that was like 10 or 12 milliliters large. Like even the doctor was like, holy moly, this is huge. So this year's going to be a little bit different because he just had the surgery. So he'll still be coming to Thanksgiving, but he'll probably be, even though he probably won't say it or show it, he probably will be, a little slower or he'll probably be a little more tired than normal. We've been trying to take all of the burdens off of my grandmother and being like, I'll make this and we'll do this. And that way you guys just show up and come. And she's like creating new things for her to have to do. And bless her heart, she just likes to be busy. She likes to cook. She likes to do that stuff. So we won't complain about it. But at the same time, we're like, Oma, we're trying to take things off of your plate. Like stop adding more things. But that's just the kind of person she is. So anyways, today we're going to talk about balance during the holidays and not just so much nutritional side, although that is important, but just overall. I mean, the holidays typically and historically, although it's supposed to be a time of joy and the most wonderful time of the year and family and friends and parties and all this other stuff, it can be extremely stressful. Especially if you're type A like me and you just want to do everything and you want everything to be done the way that you want it done. It can be a little stressful to get all of that accomplished. And being around family, no matter how good your family relationships are, can be stressful. And especially if you don't have a good family relationship, but you're still, obligated to come to family outings and gatherings and things like that, it can obviously add that stress to it. So this is just kind of simple, quick, 3 different things to help you going into, we've already kind of started the holiday season, but as we are in it and continue to go through it, just staying balanced throughout the rest of the year and getting into the new year. For me personally, I don't necessarily believe in having New Year's resolutions. I do, however, have reevaluations where I kind of look at the new year of things that when I look ahead, what do I want to accomplish in comparison to what did I accomplish? So I reflect and I look forward and I kind of see big picture. So I'll look at 2023 and see like, okay, how did 2023 go? Did I accomplish some of the things that I wanted to accomplish this year? If I didn't, why didn't I? And what can I do better this year to accomplish that? As well as just like little things mindset wise, nutritional wise. I have some competitions that I want to do in the new year already on the books. So, they'll have a little physical goal as well. I have career goals that I accomplish almost everything that I want to do every year with my career. So I always try to get new goals going into the new year because I'm always working on myself. I'm always making things better. I'm always doing what I can to be a better employee, a better athlete, a better daughter, a better friend, better girlfriend, better dog mom, all of those things. So I'm kind of starting now just getting in that mindset of what I can do in the new year. And I feel like practicing some of these things to keep you balanced throughout the holidays is really something that can help catapult you into your 2024 goals, reevaluations, resolutions, whatever you want to call them. I think that if we kind of go into the rest of the holiday season with these in mind, it really will already give us a head start to whatever we want to do in 2024. People that just wait after this point in the year and they're like, oh, well, I'll just pick it up again January 1st. Why? At this point, when this episode is released, it's the Monday after Thanksgiving, but as I'm recording, it's the Tuesday before Thanksgiving. So, we still have over a month. Like there's like 35, 40 days left in the new year. That is what? 4 weeks. Math is not my thing, y'all. You know this. We talk about this. I'm just pulling numbers out of my head right now. But it's essentially 3, 4, maybe 5 weeks into the new year. Why would you just cross off those 5 weeks and just wait until the new year to start when you can get 5 weeks ahead? Even if all you do is 1 or 2 things per week, even if it's just one thing per week that you do, you are already going to be 5 times more ahead than anybody else that's starting January 1. Because let's be honest, you're not starting January 1. You're going to start that January 1's on a Monday. So you're going to say, oh, well, you know what? Today's still technically a holiday. And then Tuesday, you're kind of getting back into your routine of back at work, whatever it is. So it's really not going to be until January 8th that you start on your goal. So that's even 1 more week further. So why not just start now? Even if it's just one simple thing, whether it's nutrition wise, physical wise, mentally wise, stuff around the house, or if you are not the type of person that puts your grocery cart away, start doing that yesterday. That is one thing I cannot stand. When I see grocery carts just propped everywhere, I made that. I kind of, when I was in college, I started to get a little bit lazy about it. And then one day I just woke up and I was like, you know what? I'm going to stop doing this. This is going to be this. And it was around Christmas time, probably in like 2014. And I was like, that's my New Year's resolution. I don't really do resolutions, but my New Year's resolution is going to be every time I go to the grocery store, I'm going to put my cart away. I don't care if I don't pay attention and I have to park far away. I'm going to go get it back. Two things makes me a good person and I get my steps in. So it's a double whammy. Anyways, a little sidetrack on that. But with that being said, these are the 3 things that I really want to focus on myself and also encourage you to focus on as we go out through the rest of this holiday season. So maintaining balance during the holidays can be challenging, as we just talked about, with family and stress and everything else we got going on. But it is crucial for both physical and mental well-being to make the attempt to do that. So 3 helpful tips to help you stay balanced during this holiday season is, number 1 is prioritize self-care. I know that this is the season of giving and it's the season of selflessness, and we're either volunteering or we're getting gifts for other people, or we're, doing service for other people and things like that. But we have to prioritize ourselves as well, because we cannot pour from an empty cup, right? So if my cup is completely empty and somebody is expecting me to pour into them, they're not going to get very much. And then I'm going to get burnt out. And then I'm going to feel some resentment or bitterness towards that person or that situation because it's draining me when I have nothing left. So amidst the hustle and bustle of the holiday preparations, we have to make sure we're prioritizing self-care. Schedule time for activities that help you relax and rejuvenate, even if it's something as simple as getting your nails done or a pedicure and leaving your phone in the car. I know that's tough sometimes to even think about, like, oh my God, like what if, this, that, and the third happens? You deserve to have your time. If you have an Apple Watch, just keep your Apple Watch. So that way you're like, okay, I got a buzz. It's something important, whatever. And then if it is something important, you can be like, oh my God, I need to run to my car. But, even if it's just something simple as that, or I know this might sound weird, but I like to go to the grocery store and like grocery shop. Not without like, I'll have my list of like the gist of things that I want to get, but like actually go up and down the aisles and like pick out some snacks that might be fun. Or if if I saw a TikTok or an Instagram of like somebody making this cool dessert or this cool meal and I want to have those ingredients so that I can try that, I like to do that. And undisturbed, like phones I'll have my list on an actual pen and paper and phones in my purse or whatever. Like it doesn't have to be a spa day, spending all this money doing anything crazy. It could literally just be a walk on the beach. Or if you don't live by the beach, like a hike or a bike ride or just something that makes you happy, even if it's just, 30 minutes of an adult coloring book and you grab your markers or your crayons or whatever, and you just color for a little bit and just disconnect from all of the chaos. Like even just setting aside 20, 30 minutes to do that for yourself can really be beneficial. Adequate sleep is also essential. Y'all, my rule for this past year, especially with competing again, has been that I will not sacrifice sleep. I will not do it. I've talked about this before. I think I talked about it a couple episodes back, where if I have to start my day a little bit later because I had to work a little bit later, I'm still going to aim to get I try not to sleep any less than 6 hours. So I try to do like 6.5 to 8 is like a sweet spot for me. I love when I wake up on my Whoop and it says like 7 hours. Like that's like a sweet spot. Last night I actually tried the Beam drink for the first time. And not only did it taste incredible, like it literally tasted like I was having hot cocoa. I was like, I don't know what they did to make this taste like so good. But within 10, 15 minutes of me finishing that drink, I was like barely being able to get through like one chapter of my book before I started like getting heavy. And I was like, okay, I need to finish this chapter and then I'm going to bed. I slept 8 hours. 8 hours. Oh, it was glorious. I mean, and my awake time was like 2 or 3% less. My REM was like 2 or 3% more. My light sleep was low. Like my restorative sleep was like 4.5 hours. I was like, oh my God, this is incredible. So it was really, really good. So prioritizing sleep is important for the well-being as well. So maybe it's not an activity that you do for self-care, but you go to bed a little bit earlier. Or you let yourself sleep in 30 minutes later or something like that. Just prioritizing the sleep in there is also self-care. So by doing these things and by taking care of yourself and putting yourself first and filling up your cup in what could be a little or a large way will help you be better equipped to handle the craziness of the holiday season. Number 2, set realistic expectations. The holidays often come with expectations, both on ourselves and others. It's important to set expectations for what you can actually accomplish. And how things will unfold. So I always like to say, this is how I want it to be. And then this is how things are going to go when something happens that is not on my game plan. So I always try to have like this open mind of, I would love for things to be this way. However, it's not always going to be 100% this way. And this is something I'm still working on, y'all. Just ask Doug. But I'll try to think like, okay, this is how I want things to be. More than likely it's going to go this way, but there's a chance it might go this way. So just having that expectation that you're going to have to bob and weave. I think I talked about this on a podcast before, that like it's okay to go into whatever you're going to do with a plan, but you have to be just as flexible as you are disciplined with your goals, with your expectations and things like that. And I'm not saying that, if you had a party planned for like a Friendsgiving or a holiday friends party or whatever, and like somebody throws something out of left field on you that is just like eye rolling, then, you'd be like, okay, well, that sucks for you. Sorry, you can't come, but I'm not canceling this party for one person. You know what I mean? Like just something like that. Understanding that perfection is not necessary. I am still working on that. And it's okay if everything does not go as planned. Be flexible and willing to adapt to change. Again, being just as flexible as you are disciplined with expectations. And then a big part of this is communicate openly with others about your limitations and prioritize activities that bring you joy rather than succumbing to unnecessary stress. Big thing here is that communication. It is so important for you to communicate with your family and friends what you can and cannot handle during this holiday season. Do not be that person that is a yes person and says yes to everything, signs up for everything. I'll do this, I'll do that. Be realistic with what you can handle. And if you sign up and you bite off a little more than what you can chew and you realize that, say something. Let people know, hey, you know what? I really thought that I was going to be able to do this, but it seems like I'm a little bit overwhelmed and I might have put too much on my plate. Would you mind helping me with this? You don't even have to pass it on to somebody if you really feel like you want to get it done. Ask for help. Just say, hey, I didn't realize that this was going to take more. I didn't realize this was going to take as much time as it as it actually is. Can you help me with this? That's something that I've had to really work on too. I'm not big on asking for help. I'm like, no, I can do it. I don't need anybody to help me. But I've gotten really good at just being like, this is what I can handle. Would you mind stepping in here? Even if it's like something super small and maybe I don't even really need the help, but it would just be nice to have it. Just like, I'll give the smallest example. The other night I was cooking dinner and I was cooking ground turkey in a skillet. And this I was going to put it in a Tupperware, and the skillet is a little heavy for me to hold with one hand and scoop out with the other. So I asked Doug, he was sitting on the couch watching TV, and I was like, hey, Doug, do you mind while I hold this, can you scoop the ground turkey into the Tupperware for me? And he was like, yeah, no problem. And he did that, and it was helpful because otherwise my wrist would have hurt. I probably would have gotten ground turkey everywhere. And that's such a small example, but let that be, an example to you that it could be that small. It doesn't have to be like, this huge thing. So don't be afraid to ask for help and communicate how you're feeling and what's going on to your loved ones and the people around you. Number 3 and final, practice mindfulness and gratitude. I always come back to gratitude, y'all. I think that there is a way for me to tie this into almost every single episode and every single topic that I do because it is just so important and is such a game changer to everything in your life, no matter what your goals are or what you're doing. It is such a game changer. So incorporating mindfulness into your daily routine to stay present and appreciate the moments. The holidays are crazy. There's a lot going on, but there's also a lot of magic this time of year as well, if you are open to receiving it. Just this morning, I worked out at 6 a.m. and I'm a little bit grumpy because of having to get up at 5:30. But I look up and I see on the light posts that they started decorating the light posts with the Christmas trees and the little bells and the little Santas and stuff. And I just could not help but to smile and just be like, it is the most wonderful time of the year. I understand that there's a lot of things going on in the world right now that are not good, but that doesn't mean that I will allow it to take away from my gratitude and my happiness. Like I'm just not going to. I'm not going to walk around bitter that the world is in shambles because my world is currently blessed and I'm grateful for the situation that I'm in. So I'm going to sit in that and I'm going to let that be my mindset and how I feel. So mindfulness techniques such as deep breathing or mindful meditation can help reduce stress and keep you focused on the present rather than worrying about the future. Whether you meditate or I pray, I'm a Christian. I've never been shy about that on this podcast. I pray, I lean on the Lord. I talk to God every single morning. I spend time with him. If I don't have time to actually sit and read my Bible, I will listen to a podcast that talks about scripture. So scripture is being read into me and put into my brain. My gratitude that I do, I write down 3 things I'm grateful for. And I take that as a moment to say thank you to God because he gives me so much. I am so blessed in so many ways. There have been trials that I've had to go through, but it was all for his greater good to give him glory. And those moments of me sitting there in gratitude is the least that I could do to just say, God, thank you for this. And it could be elaborate. It could be, I'm grateful that I was able to overcome this adversity that I went through this week. Or it could be like, I'm grateful for dog cuddles. Thank you, God, that I have 3 healthy dogs that I get to cuddle with every day. In the mornings, at night, during random times in the day when I just get on the floor with my dog, thank you for that, God. So doing that is really helpful and just how I express gratitude. I take it as I'm giving gratefulness to God because God created the universe. So if you pray to the universe, you're technically praying to God. Additionally, practicing gratitude can help shift your mindset towards the positive aspects of the holiday season. Just like I said with that example of seeing the light posts, I was a little grumpy having to get up this morning, but I saw that and I was like, oh, Merry Christmas. It is the season, and it's just made me happy. The other day I saw somebody with a tree on their roof and it was 2 little kids in the backseat and a mom and dad, or maybe a mom and stepdad, whatever the situation was. It was a man and a woman driving and 2 kids in the backseat and they were all smiling. You could just tell that the kids were so excited because they got their Christmas tree, and it made me so excited and happy for them and for the season. And I was just that was the first one I saw this season. I started to see the tree farms pop up in Jacksonville. And I was just praise God. Thank God that the season is here because there's something about it that just every single day I wake up and I just feel happy that my Christmas tree in the corner of my office, when I look at it, my eyes light up and it's just something to be happy. And it's the smallest thing. It's a Christmas tree. It's maybe like 3 feet tall, but it gives me so much joy and makes me feel so grateful that the end of this year has been wild, but being able to get to this point and have all of this joy surrounding me, I'm just so grateful to sit in that. So take time each day to reflect on what you're thankful for, whether it's the company of loved ones, good health, or moments of joy, just like seeing Christmas lights and making yourself smile, or baking cookies, or getting your nails done and getting some fun design on it, or whatever your happiness is. Take time to really live in that moment and appreciate it for what it is. Doing that will help foster a sense of contentment and balance during the craziness of this holiday season. So remember, the holidays are a time for joy and connection. Finding balance allows you to fully enjoy the season without feeling overwhelmed. Listen to your body, listen to your mind, make choices that align with your well-being. Prioritize your self-care, make time for you, fill your cup before you try to fill everybody else up this holiday season. Set realistic expectations and communicate. Just know that it is okay if you bite off more than you can chew, but when you realize that, ask for help. Communicate to your loved ones, to your friends, whatever. Hey, I bit off more than I can chew. Can you please help me with this? And then 3, practice mindfulness and gratitude. 'Tis the season. It's the most wonderful time of year, y'all. Let's just take it in, embrace it. We've been saying this for every year since 2020. It's been a year. This is the time of year where it's like everything that's BS that has happened the year leading up to it almost kind of goes away in some ways. I realize I'm not speaking for everybody and everything when I say that. I'm speaking for me and my situation. But it's like all of the BS that happened in the previous months leading up to right now is like canceled out, because this is just the most wonderful time of year. And there's just so much joy. And you can see it, you can feel it if you are open to receiving it. And that's what you have to do. So this holiday season, I hope that you take some time to prioritize yourself. I hope that you set realistic expectations and communicate if you bite off more than you could chew. And I hope that you take this time to practice that mindfulness and gratitude. Start doing it now. Start implementing these now, because this is not just 3 tips that can help you be balanced through the holidays. These are 3 tips that can help you stay balanced, period, throughout any time of the year, any situation that you're in. So I hope that you enjoy. I hope you had a happy Thanksgiving and you get ready for the Christmas season. Now it is officially acceptable for the rest of society that we wear Christmas stuff and we decorate our Christmas tree, although it wasn't a week ago, but now it is. And I hope that you have been doing it no matter what anybody says, and that you enjoy it and you live in it and you take it in and you receive the joy and happiness that the season has to offer. You got this, friend. Till next time. Thanks for tuning in to this week's episode. I really hope you enjoyed it. If you aren't already, be sure to subscribe to Beyond Broken Hungry wherever you get your podcasts so you get notified every time a new episode drops. It would also mean the world to me if you rate, review, and share the podcast too, so more people can join the BBH tribe. Until next time, you got this, friend.